Welcome back, and our next guest is breathwork and life coach Christine Hutt-Savage, and the topic we'll be discussing is overcoming anxiety. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here.
Christine, we know a lot of people suffer from anxiety. What is anxiety?
It's an interesting topic, anxiety, because often when you're suffering from anxiety, you don't realise it's anxiety. You just feel not right. And there's a type of fear that comes with anxiety. It depends on how serious it is. Anxiety can be it's like, put it this way, it's like, for me, a river that runs always in the background. And some days that river rises up and becomes really full and powerful, and other times it settles down a bit, but it's always running in the background. It's always this level of discomfort. And in that discomfort is fear, like there's a fear. And when it's really strong, it's terror, it's dread. And that's when I used to think, oh my God, I'd rather die than be experiencing this. It's quite strong. It's a horrible thing, anxiety. It's horrible. So if anyone's really out there suffering from this, there are things you can do. But you know, I think, Megan, the thing that is great these days is there is help out there. There's help everywhere for anxiety, like it's recognised. But when I was first suffering from it, it wasn't recognised. You hid it. It was something that if you were stressed, that was fine. You could have stress. But if you were anxious, you couldn't tell anybody because it was taboo, anxiety. So now it's different. It's like, yes, I have anxiety, and people understand it a lot better. But the symptoms that I had were this feeling of, if you imagine a whole group of butterflies or moths, it's probably more like moths than butterflies, and they're all flapping together and they're all banging into each other in your solar plexus, like your stomach area. And then this fear starts to take you over. And then you start to have thoughts of dread, fearful thoughts, worry thoughts, and you just feel yourself contracting in, and it's really powerful, and it literally takes you over, completely takes you over.
The way you describe it, it sounds like you've experienced it yourself.
Most definitely. I've had really chronic anxiety in my life, and that's what took me into the pathway that I work in. It was through this anxiety. And it can be so incredibly strong that you can start to have panic attacks. And a lot of people do have panic attacks, and mine became so severe that, I don't know if you know the term tetany, but tetany is where your body freezes up, and I would end up laying on the floor going, not able to breathe, and just like I was completely paralysed by the fear of anxiety. And of course, it's a catch-22, because then when I was thinking I was going to do something that brought anxiety to me, or I felt anxiety, like public speaking, I would never in a million years have thought I would be public speaking like I do these days. I couldn't speak up. I couldn't find my voice. So if I had to do something that put me in a situation where I felt fear, then I would have terror of having a panic attack, and that would create the panic attack. So it's a catch-22. You have this panic about panicking, and on it goes. And it's something that is there 24/7, like every single day. It's a horrible thing. I can laugh about it now, but it is a very serious condition, and it can stop people from doing anything. You know, it can keep you at home, too scared to step outside and live your life. And the dreams that we have, that we want to achieve in our lives, it can stop you from even taking one step towards that dream because you freeze up. I can't do this, I can't do this. Maybe people will laugh at me, maybe I'll make a fool of myself. And we can get through that, where these days I think if I make a fool of myself, oh well, it doesn't matter. But I've been on a real journey with this, with anxiety.
Christine, is there anything you would recommend for our viewers to take away from this?
Oh, yes. Firstly, when you're feeling anxious, just take a step back. And again, my favourite thing, the anchor is your breath. Through the nose, always through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Settle yourself. Give yourself permission to step back and just slow down. And it's probably a hard thing to do for people when you're in anxiety, but really look at the thought processes you're going through as well, because your thoughts will be going nuts. They will be telling you every negative thing that could happen. So we need to, when we put it this way, when we breathe, we can slow the thought processes down as well. So again, one of the biggest things I did for anxiety was learn to meditate. And that slows everything down. And when you feel the anxiety building up again, if you didn't do something or have a skill like meditation, you can't bring it back down again. So if you meditate once a day or twice a day, if the anxiety is building and you meditate, it brings it down so that you're balanced again. And then you can go back out into the world. I've got a quick story. Have you got time for a quick story?
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard this or where it came from, but there was this story about this young boy that was born into a family, a large family, and he was chosen to become a monk. And he did not want to be a monk. Anyway, he was taken to this place and the abbot sat down and spoke to him in this monastery. And he said, "Sit down, my son," and he said, "Okay, I'm sitting down, but I am standing on the inside." And then one day the abbot was out and about and he happened to notice this young boy walking up the passageway towards him, and he thought, this is this young man. And he stopped and he spoke to him and he said, "I see you are standing on the outside, but now you are sitting on the inside." That is what meditation can do for you. That's what it's done for me. That's why I love to teach people meditation.
What a fantastic story, Christine. If you'd like to know more about overcoming anxiety and Christine Hart-Savage, go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll have another interesting guest with another interesting topic.